Well, Forbes has released its list of the highest paid YouTubers, and it shows two kids, both under the age of 10, got some of the biggest paydays. It's no surprise, as research shows videos with children in them are viewed almost 3 times as often as other clips. It's also a testament to the popularity of using YouTube as a babysitter. According to Pew Research Centre, 4 in 5 parents with children 11 and younger let their kids go onto YouTube to pass the time. Now, Ryan KG of Ryan's Toy Reviews remained on the top of the list, taking home $26 million this year. That's up from the $22 million he and his family earned in 2018. In second place with $20 million in earnings was the 5-person team behind the channel Dude Perfect. It features the gang performing stunts and attempting to break Guinness World Records. Now, rounding out the top 3 is the 5-year-old Anastasia Radzinskaya, who made $18 million. Her channel, like Nastya, features her playing games with her dad. Well, those numbers show just how lucrative the platform can be for people who build and maintain a loyal following. But as Paolo Montesilio reports, many smaller channels are struggling to make ends meet and are banding together to get a better deal.
George Sprave is in the fight of his life, but his weapons are not the homemade slingshots and giant swords that have made him a minor celebrity in Germany. He's leading a growing army of YouTubers around the world, all clamoring for greater transparency.
Und gleichzeitig haben wir natürlich die Möglichkeit,
we, of course, have the opportunity to put a lot of pressure via the social networks, because we are many and we can reach many others. Every YouTuber who joins us has his own audience.
Sprave heads the so-called YouTubers Union, which has 26,000 members. Their beef is against a policy YouTube put in place in 2017. It was meant to divert advertisers away from abusive content like racism and pedophilia. But many YouTubers say their harmless videos have also been affected. As a result, some content creators have seen their earnings drop up to 90%.
We would like to know the rules by which we are judged, but YouTube doesn't share these rules. It keeps them secret and only publishes very, very unclear rules. We also want YouTube to tell us what categories it has classified us in, how it rates us, our ratings. We want to know everything.
Sprave's group already has the backing of one of Germany's biggest unions, IG Metall. It represents millions of factory workers, but it's also supporting people in the gig economy, which includes YouTubers and Uber drivers.
The other side has the power and the money, and we have the numbers. There's way more of us. We have to show them how many of us want YouTube to treat YouTubers better. Our strength comes from acting together.
Faced with the backlash, YouTube has pledged to improve the way its ad filters work. But the company has refused to meet with the YouTubers Union, saying the group doesn't speak for the millions of users that upload videos on the site every day. Sprave says that decision is way off the mark. Paolo Montesilio, TRT World.
Well, let's get more of an insight into this industry with Drake McWhorter in Dallas, Texas. He runs the YouTube channel Comic Drake, which has 268,000 subscribers. Welcome to Money Talks, Drake. Now, before we kick off into the issues, can you just give us a bit about your background? Tell us how you got into YouTube creating and what your channel's all about.
Well, I actually took a very unique approach to getting into the YouTube game. I started interning for a channel called ScrewAttack.com the day I graduated high school, and I moved on to a much larger channel called Game Theory that I worked at for a couple of years before spinning out into my own stuff. I used to run a gaming channel called Trailer Drake, which was all about video game content, but I noticed that was getting incredibly oversaturated as everybody wanted to get in on it. So I pivoted towards more comic book focused content since there was significantly less competition. And I've moved into becoming one of the top 10 most subscribed channels in this niche.
Wow, okay. And I guess for slightly older people like myself, it always really boggles me how people manage to make money from creating content on YouTube. So how does it all work? How do you earn a living from YouTubing?
Well, it's an incredibly complex algorithm. Those ads that play before videos is how I make most of my money. The amount that you get paid varies from channel to channel. The type of ads that are played on there also varies from channel to channel. That's why we've been seeing a lot of conflict right now with COPPA and kids-related content, because these channels are losing their targeted ads, and that's where the bulk of income comes from for these ads. I also get a lot of my money from sponsorship deals and directly from my viewers through revenues like sources like Patreon.
Okay, so the YouTube channel serves as, I guess, a springboard into other deals that can be more lucrative.
Absolutely, but the bulk of my revenue does come directly from my YouTube channel. The other stuff is kind of just supplemental income.
Now, we heard in Paolo's story there from a German YouTuber who was looking to create, I guess, a YouTube union. Can you tell us a bit about the pressures that YouTube content creators like yourself face?
Well, a union would be fantastic, and I'm hoping that's going to be applicable for me based here in the United States. But being a YouTuber has a lot of very unique challenges. I'm my own boss, and while I was working for Game Theory and I was making significantly more money, I was able to hire an editor to help me out with things. But unfortunately, the amount of income that I'm receiving right now by myself isn't really that's not really something that's practical. So I end up making everything myself. I do all the research, I write the script, I edit the audio, I do all my graphic design for my thumbnails and for my videos. I do all my own editing. I have to manage all these sponsorship deals myself, so I'm the one that's directly negotiating with these companies. I have a lot on my plate, and unfortunately, the income that I make isn't a fixed rate. I do kind of miss when I used to work a regular 9 to 5, because the amount that people watch directly has an impact on how much money I'm earning, and I'm not in control of that. So it makes budgeting on a month-to-month basis very difficult.
Now, some people would say that YouTube content creators can simply just take a break. You're, as you say, you're your own boss. But what happens when you do decide to take a break and stop producing that content for a while?
Oh yeah, taking a break is absolutely not an option, especially whenever you're a mid-tier creator like myself. And I feel like in a lot of these conversations, channels at my size, who frankly are the majority when it comes to these full-time creators, yeah, we're not really talked about a whole lot, and it is impossible for me to take a break. I famously took about a month off after I was out of the hospital in 2016, and the algorithm stopped promoting my videos. Even my subscribers weren't seeing them in their feed. And I provided a graphic to your team. I don't know if that's able to be shown on screen, but it took me about a full year in order to actually get back to where I was before taking that break.
Now, how responsible would you say is YouTube as a company in the welfare of content creators like yourself?
Well, I would say that it is kind of impossible for every single one of us to be given equal footing. I mean, there's only so many videos on the sidebar that can be recommended. So frankly, it's kind of a very competitive market still, because all of the recommendations are done specifically for each viewer. But I think that the YouTube system needs to find a good way to balance things out. If, especially my content, which has never been hit by something like the adpocalypse, it really does suck that my content is still can be suppressed simply because I want to take some time off.
Yeah, well, fascinating industry, and I'm sure we won't hear the last of it. But Drake McWhorter in Dallas, thank you so much for sharing us your insights.